So, I guess I'm stuck right here. It's okay. I'm on the ground in front of my little altar with wet hair. Anyway, I just decided, kind of self-conscious right now. Anyway, I decided to just try this format and see how it goes without judging and stopping myself. So, hi there, how are you? It's me, Ramona. I'm just coming to you live from my arts and crafts room, I think. Oh, this is kind of nice because I can swivel a little bit. Ooh, look. I like where the light is reflecting right there. Oh, that looks cool. It's almost in my eyes. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I wore this dress so that I would be forced to sit up straight like a lady. I'm already struggling. Anyway, so here it is, a few days after Valentine's Day, and I haven't made a video for about a month. I've been super busy. I went to Disney World, which was super exciting, and lots of different things. Like I've been working a lot, and other personal things that have to do with my family in California that have been taking up a lot of my thoughts and time. But here I am now. I was in the process of making a video and I was editing it, and I was thinking about the things I wanted to talk about and how to put it in words with what I was filming. And I started to feel overwhelmed because it's really hard to write things that go with video and to, like, I don't know. I just really, writing for me is usually something that happens organically. I don't put a lot of thought into it. So when I'm forced, not forced, when I've committed to making these little videos, it's really hard for me to come up with everything. Like writing it, editing it, filming it, it's a lot of stuff. So I decided this time I was just going to do a little live stream, and hopefully it'll be somewhat entertaining. So I wanted to come on and talk with you about a few things that I have been musing over. So things that have been inspiring me in my artistic and even my spiritual practice. So I'm watching myself and I'm like, I need to open my eyes more. Like that. Okay. So lately I've been thinking about the past and thinking about things that I used to study and that I was gaining a lot of knowledge about, like yoga, and I started thinking about the chakra system. The reason this came up is I was at Disneyland or Disney World, and I went on the Tron ride, and it's this really intense roller coaster. And after it, like I felt so exhilarated and so awake and alive. It was like a spiritual experience on this funny roller coaster. Not funny, it's really powerful. And I was trying to describe what it was like, and I was like, this is like a Kundalini awakening. Like I felt like that little energy, like all those, the energy system rattling and like unblocking, like through my spine. And I just felt so awake and good and alive. And afterwards, I was thinking about Kundalini and energy and where it gets blocked and stuck. And I just started thinking about myself and where I might be blocked and stuck within my chakra system, my Kundalini energy, like that. I have a hair on my hand. Anyway, I was thinking about like what chakras within me were stuck. And I'm sure most of them are stuck in some ways. I can kind of feel that just because my life has been very, I want to say, maybe it's not really that it's stuck. They're all spinning, but it's like not at the same pace. Like some things are spinning faster, some things might be spinning backwards. And what I think is that I've just been unconscious of them. I haven't been focusing on them. So I thought, oh, I'll start at the basics. So I started looking up the root chakra, which is located at like the base of your spine, kind of like the tailbones. The root connects you with the earth. And while I was thinking about the root chakra, I started thinking like what mantra at me like came into my head when I think of it. And what I kept thinking was stability and security. I feel safe and I feel secure. And those were like the words that kept coming into my head. Root, safe, secure. And I kept, focusing my attention on that mantra, and a vision came into my mind of roots, just roots, like knotty roots moving down into the earth and supporting this little hollow area. And within that little area, there was a little fox sleeping. And is this getting pretty weird? It is. I'm going to show you the picture though. I just painted it today. So this is my root chakra painting. And this little fox just came to me, being safe and cozy in its den. And to me, like this is the root chakra right here. I am safe. I feel supported. And as I started thinking about this chakra, I was like, my life right now is at a very safe and supported stage. And I started thinking like how that has allowed me to do so many other things. Because your root chakra, it's like your home and your basic needs. So it's like food, shelter, protection, And if those basic needs are met, then you're able to like expand into like other parts of the root chakra, which is like your self-image, like who you are and your personality. But at the core, at the base of it, you have to have those basic needs met. You have to be fed, be supported. That's important. That's like family, feeling supported and safe. And you have to, that's what you need so that you could flourish, right? Safety, support, nourishment, stability. And then that creates your self-image. And then your self-image is like your persona. And I was thinking like, because my basic needs are the stablest they've been, I've had a life where I've moved a lot and where things were kind of chaotic, and there was like some places that were rooted and stable, but it was constantly shifting and ungrounded. And I've had lots of dreams about this, and I've done a lot of work on it so that now I am able to be rooted and grounded in a safe place, in a stable place. And that actually feels kind of scary for somebody that always had chaos and movement. To have stability kind of feels scary because you can start to think like, I'm going to wreck this, or something bad is going to happen, it's going to go away. And when those types of things come up, those are just feelings and negative emotions based on past experiences. You just have to acknowledge it and be there for it and recognize that it's not happening anymore. And the only way it will happen is if you create the circumstances that allow it to happen. And I really do feel like you do create those circumstances. Anyway, so I wrote some things about the root chakra. I did some journaling. And I'm just going to share some of that stuff right now with you. So I just took a bunch of notes. And here's some of the things I wanted to remember, that just mantras. It has to do with your early family life, your fears, abandonment, addictions, and lack of confidence. And those are all things that are really strong in me. I lack confidence. I have addiction in my family, with my loved ones, and within myself. And abandonment is always like my first. I think abandonment is a form of fear, and it's always where I go. Like when something goes wrong, I think that the person who is involved with me is going to abandon me because I'm bad, or I did something wrong, or they just can't deal with it. So, and that all comes from your upbringing. And so when those feelings come up now, you just have to come up. And I even wrote this: I am here, I am now. So coming into where you actually are. And for me now, I am in a place that is safe and secure, and I could be centered. And it's only because I worked on those traumas, the addictions, the fears, abandonment, the early life stuff. I worked on that, and I still work on it. And one of the ways I work on it is through yoga, through grounding down, through meditation. Massage is a good way. Exercising. For me, exercising is probably the biggest way that I connect with that part of me. Through yoga, and now through all different types of exercise. Like I love, I don't even want to talk about working out, but anyway. So then it's funny because I wasn't, like, when I was drawing this picture, I wasn't really thinking about the root chakra, but I was just kind of doodling while I was listening to somebody. I think I might have been on the phone with someone. I was doodling while I was on the phone. And it just has like this little girl with big eyes in the middle, surrounded by roses. And on one side of her is a lady that looks like a nun. And the other side of her is an angel lady. I can tell by her dress. She's wearing a feather dress. And then there's like this, DNA sequencing that's happening above them or something. Anyway, or it could be roots. Like, it's so weird. Like, I drew this not like thinking root chakra, but in my unconscious mind, there it all came out. So there's my little inner child. And those two beings behind me are spirit guides. So that angel is someone who came to me. And I think I call her a she, but I don't really think she had a form like I give her. I just think that when I saw this being, I gave it a form to help me understand it, because it kept changing. And every time it changed, I was trying to label it. And the only time I was really able to get any message from it was when I didn't label its form, when I wasn't trying to focus on what I was seeing, when I was just listening to it. So it was interesting. Anyway, and then there's this nun. So I have this memory of being in another life, and it was a life of being a sister, but it's not the way you see it now. It was a very ancient time. So I think those things, I'm not going to talk about her now. I'll talk about her another time. She comes through in dreams. But anyway, so this sketch might turn into like a bigger piece of artwork, because it has to do with me identifying with the root chakra. And that's something I think I'm going to be working with through my art. So then it's so funny, like how these things come out of you, like unconsciously. Because then I just started like making these little sketches, like little folk designs. And that to me is root chakra stuff, because I've been doing a lot of like ancestral healing through books, through like teachings, and through research. And it's been very interesting. Also kind of like illuminating, and sometimes like heartbreaking, because I get these glimpses of these lives that these ancestors had lived, and how it directly affects how I've lived. And I'll just go into that a little bit. So an example of that is I was researching my ancestry on this one family line, my grandmother on my father's side, so paternal line. And my grandmother, I never really knew her. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I never knew her in this material world. She died when I was very young, and my dad was not raised by her. And so we didn't have a connection with her family, but I've always felt connected with her, and I've had lots of paranormal and psychic experiences with her. And so I've been looking into her lineage and her line, and what I'm seeing is this history of a family that was constantly moving forward and trying to reestablish its roots here in America that were uprooted in the country that they came from. And it's funny to see, because when you look at these lines, you see like one root will go this way. We'll call it a root because it's a family tree, right? And, you know, they gradually heal and become established and, you know, have good lives. And then other parts of the family, the roots go into those areas that haven't healed, or areas that they haven't healed. I don't know if it's collectively, like the whole family line. I kind of think it is. Or if it's just one branch of it didn't get enough sun. That's the branch I'm from. Anyway, that's interesting. So, anyway, looking through my journal, talking about the root chakra, I am thriving in my environment. My environment supports me. What a good thing. Good thing. So another thing I've been up to, and I'm just going to talk about this for a little while. So I realize I'm just talking to myself. And you can just think of this as like hanging out with a friend who's like rambling on. I have been doing a lot of inner child work. And to me, that is part of the root chakra too, is going into those areas of ourselves that experience trauma and healing them through, actually, I think through activities that give you joy. They could be a form of escape, but they could also be a form of healing. It just depends on how you use them. And I just like make art to heal. I'm not doing it. Kind of it does help me escape. Like after work, I might just sit down and like get lost in paint for an hour. But ultimately, thoughts come up and memories come up and stories come up. And it could be a time when you get to release some of that pain, release parts of those stories. It could be a time when you remember some things that brought you great joy and contributed to your greatest qualities as a person now. So, yeah. Where was I going? Anyway, yeah, so the way I do inner child work is I'm lucky enough to have my little art studio that I've set up. A little TV, so I have music, a little space for Reese, my desk, or this is my workstation, my altar, which is behind me, my inspiration board. If we go over here, we have my desk, and there's Miss Faye. So anyway, this is where I do my inner child work. And this is where I found myself rooting down. Anyway, so I was thinking, if you're here, I'm just going to give you a couple little prompts for dealing with your root chakra, for working with it. And here they are. So deep down, how do you feel? Without labeling the feeling as its emotion, describe it. Is it comfortable? Is there discomfort? Do you feel safe? Unsafe? Without saying you are afraid, without saying you are scared, Just notice, are you safe? And come back to right now, right here, and realize, what am I talking about? Oh my God. I guess just realize you are safe. I was like getting kind of weird there. What did I mean? Like, are you safe? Are you unsafe? It's true. Like where you are right now. Are you safe? Are you unsafe? It doesn't matter if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're mad. Are you in a safe place to express those things? Do you feel safe? I hope you do. And then, like, comfort, discomfort. That's kind of like gets you into just noticing sensations, right? Like right now, I can tell you there's discomfort in my ankles. And the reason being is the way I'm sitting. So I can switch that up. I can switch the way I'm sitting. And then there's less discomfort on my ankles. Now, if you go into an emotional situation, how does this make me feel? Comfortable or uncomfortable? So, if you feel comfortable, maybe you just want to stay there. Unless you're comfortable with really uncomfortable things that you should be getting out of. But sometimes you'd be comfortable with uncomfortable things that you need to sit in too. Okay, good for you. So, what else can you do though? Emotionally, I mean. Can you change your emotions so you're angry? So you're angry and it makes you feel really uncomfortable to be this angry. What can you do? Well, you can do something that serves your lower self, an imbalanced root chakra. You could give in to your addictions. You can escape. Pulling my nail polish off at the same time. Or you can work to change it. Work with the anger. For me, anger is really challenging because I suppressed it for so long. But now when it comes up, I know it's really easy to deal with. For me, it used to come up and it felt very physical, like I wanted to harm somebody physically. And I didn't want to do that, so I didn't know how to express it. And one of the ways I learned how to express it was by physically expressing it through other activities like running. When I'd start to feel angry, I'd say, I need to go for a run. Another way was through kickboxing. That anything that just gives you that release you need. If you're one of those people that feels like anger is a physical sensation, then, those exercises help. And the only reason it really feels like a physical sensation is because you've experienced anger that way. And I think that's something collectively 100% all of us have felt. Anger is expressed in a physical way. So, just want you to get in touch with how you feel on a level that doesn't label the feeling, but just describes it. Like, it feels gross. It feels disgusting, like I want to throw it up. It feels uncomfortable. It feels unsafe. It feels like I want to punch the wall. Whatever it is, you know? Feels like I want to run away, you know? And when you start to do these things, it takes you away from the power of that emotion for a minute so that you can realize how you want to express it. So for me, like anger, when it comes up, when I look at it, anger, basically you didn't get what you wanted. That's it. Or you don't like something. Big deal. You know, back to the drawing board. Really calm down and figure it out. Anyway. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm all talk. So I'm just going to leave you with this little entry I wrote in my sketchbook. So this is all root chakra, inner child journaling that I do in here. Lately, my life feels normal. Do you know what I mean? My life feels like it's flowing at a consistent rhythm without any changes. When life is like this, I grow a little suspect. I feel like I'm waiting for something dramatic to happen. Something that uproots my life and throws another obstacle my way. And if an obstacle doesn't present itself, I will find one. This is a pattern of mine. Things are good, bad things happen. No obstacles, create some. I tell myself I do this because I'm bored, unhappy, whatever. Basically, I create a situation or step into a situation that creates uprooting and instability in my life. So that is just a practice for you. Notice your root chakra and notice how you deal with stability. Are you comfortable with it? How you deal with normalcy when everything's going right. Are you at ease with it? Or do you fantasize about sabotaging it? Anyway, that's all for today. I'll talk to you soon. Ooh, 33 minutes. It's a long time. Bye.